This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Dorkside. I am joined by my special guest here, Ruthless Wolf. Say what's up, Ruthless.
Hey, what's up?
He's drinking right now, so pardon him, but we're good. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the MCU and the future of the MCU. And we're just going to kind of discuss the prior movies that we've all seen and loved, and then the future movies / TV shows that we're going to be getting. So we're going to jump right into it because I don't really want to waste any time here. So let's talk about the MCU itself. Now, I believe there was something like 37 movies over the past 10 years or whatever it was. There was a lot, dude. So it all started off with technically the first Iron Man movie. Did you love that movie or no?
I went in with high hopes, and I wasn't disappointed. And I'm glad it succeeded because that catapulted all the Marvel movies that we have now.
Yeah. Did you like the Marvel movies we got before the MCU? Blade, yeah, Blade, X-Men, Spider-Man movies, Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage.
There's some that are mediocre, and
a lot of them were mediocre.
Yeah.
A majority of them were mediocre.
I want to say that Blade really started it. Low-key started it all.
Oh, dude, totally freaking agree, dude. That's still, in my opinion, one of the best comic book movies ever. Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't get as much praise as people, usually give it.
Yeah.
But there's other ones like the old school Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
No, yeah. Or even, what was that? There was a Captain America movie too.
Yeah, it was like 1980.
Yeah, that was with Red Skull, and that was actually a pretty decent movie back in the day. But yeah, that was trash. But yeah, I think at the time a lot of those movies were cool because before then we hadn't really seen any of these characters on the big screen and stuff like that. Besides Batman and Superman. And it was just kind of cool to see oh dude, we're getting the X-Men and that was at the peak of when we were all done reading the Uncanny X-Men comic books and all that stuff, and so it was just really cool to see those. But in retrospect, I see a lot of those movies and they do not hold up. They're really bad. I still cannot stand some of the older X-Men movies. X-Men 2 is still the best one, I think. X3 Last Stand was total crap. I could not. It was such an unwatchable movie. I hate Spider-Man 3. Blade 3 was kind of a travesty. It wasn't great, but it was still decent. I liked it enough, but it was not what it should have been when he fought Dracula. Dracula was such a puss. That was horrible.
Yeah, the sequels just don't hold up too well.
Yeah. But okay, so what did you think? I'm trying to maybe you can help me out better because did the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies come out during the Iron Man movies, or was that before? I don't remember.
It was within Iron Man 3, I want to say.
Is that when the first one came out? The first Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, or after.
Around that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you actually like those movies?
I do, actually. I think Andrew Garfield makes a great Spider-Man, but he's too cool to be a Peter Parker.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like a dorky kid at all. Okay, so what did you think of the build up with Iron Man? Because for me and you, we grew up with comic books and stuff like that, but we of course knew about most, if not all, these characters. But for the average person, they didn't really know who the hell Iron Man was. They didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were and things like that. What did you think about stuff like that? Do you think Disney did a good job with bringing a lot of these characters to life and giving them a better story than what they probably had before? Making their names more mainstream. Do you think they did a good job with all that?
I think they did a great job to bring them to the more massive audience. I think their storyline is different. I'd rather have the comic book storyline, but I mean, Disney does what they do.
You know, speaking of too, like I feel like we're at a point. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like I think one of the things about that a lot of us bitched about the most when these movies were coming out is that like, oh, they're not following the comic book enough. They're not following the comic book. That's not how the story goes in the books. Like for me, one of the biggest things was the Civil War. Like I love the Civil War movie. It's one of my favorite MCU movies, but like it wasn't to the comic books. That's because they didn't have the X-Men. They couldn't use the X-Men and use the whole
True.
Mutant Registration Act and things like that.
Yeah, they were limited to what they
Yeah. Do you think it's kind of like we're at a point where like it almost doesn't matter if they follow the comic books anymore because the movies have been fairly good, so it's like we don't care as long as they stay within somewhat of the boundaries of the movies? Do you think we're kind of past that? They have to stick to the comic books 100%. Do you think we're past that?
No, yeah, we're past that. I think their storyline is just another universe of the Marvel.
So like an Elseworlds kind of thing.
Yes,
I can see that. Yeah. So okay. So then the build up from like the first Iron Man movie. Okay, well let me ask this: what is your favorite? Who's in your opinion had the best movies? Out of all the characters, like do you think Iron Man's had the best movies? Captain America, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man. Who do you think's had the best movies?
Wow, that's pretty hard because there's a couple that are pretty good. I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I think it's. I like Homecoming.
Yeah,
I think.
Did you like Far From Home?
Far From Home was okay.
Yeah,
I think it's still good. I mean.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I was an Ant-Man fan until I saw Ant-Man, and it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And Guardians of the Galaxy, I never followed their comic books, but I saw their movie and I was just hooked.
Yeah. So, you still haven't told me who your favorite is.
My favorite, man, it's really hard. I want to say...
I personally, I'm going to say Captain America. I think he's overall, in his movies, has had the better story arc of like, you know, going way back to his origins and then, you know, doing the whole thing with Bucky. And then going and even the whole thing with like his crossover movies because he's always had a good story even in the Avengers movies, you know, with Peggy Carter, you know what I mean? I love that whole story arc and I think he's had the most like complete story.
Yeah, true. Next to Iron Man, I think Iron Man would be the next guy would be like a complete story.
Yeah. And I feel like so apparently I don't know if you've heard this, but the thing that disappointed me about Iron Man 3, like a lot of us did in theaters. I know I did. I was so pissed. Is that they didn't have a true Mandarin.
Yeah, and that goes back to to keeping true with the comic books.
Yeah.
So sometimes comic book fans, or diehard comic book fans, will be like, "Oh, that's not Mandarin," but Disney does, you know, their own thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, okay, so now they're saying they're going to introduce him in the new Shang-Chi movie. That's why the Shang-Chi movie is called The Legend of the Ten Rings or something like that. Because it's going into the whole 10 rings of Mandarin. So I guess they're saving him for Shang-Chi. Or is it Shang-Chi? What's his name? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Right?
He's like the Bruce Lee.
Yeah, so Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So like for me, you remember the old Iron Man cartoon?
Yes, I did on Fox.
Yes, Fox Kids.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because like his main villain was
the
Mandarin.
Actually,
Right.
it's a Mandarin. Mandarin and Iron Man are like
right. That's their rivals.
Yeah.
That's their better rivals, right? And that's the thing that I think upsets me the most is that like we're never gonna get that. We're never gonna get Iron Man versus Mandarin.
They bring back Iron Man somehow. You know what I mean?
They're gonna snap his ass back to life. I don't think it works that way.
Hey, they brought a bunch of.
They would have to like re-steal all the damn stones and shit and do this all over. But then we don't know how the 10 rings work in this new movie. You know what I mean? They probably could at some point. That's actually very true. But I'm still like upset with that movie. I don't like it, dude. The villain was like really whack. He was just some like a D-lister. Like I was like, oh man.
It was actually a mix between the Mandarin. He used a Mandarin name, but it was actually someone else. It was the oh god, what was it? He was like Radioactive Man, but
yeah. What did he run? Was a company he ran? Was it like Sword or something like that?
No.
What was it called?
It wasn't
Hammer. That was a different company.
Yeah.
But it was he ran like some other company where they were doing. I don't know what it was, but yeah, dude, that was. And then he destroyed all his suits for that crap. Like that wasn't a big enough villain for him to do that, dude. That pissed me off. Like, ugh, come on here. So then, what do you think that? Okay, there are other characters in the MCU that didn't get big enough push, in my opinion, or like they didn't get their own movies. Like Black Widow, she never got her own movie. They're finally going to get her own movie next year. It's going to be a prequel where she fights Taskmaster.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. We never got a Hawkeye movie, but we're going to get a Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. We never got. Well, we got one Hulk movie. That is technically part of the MCU, the one where he fought Abomination.
Oh, with the other actor.
Yeah, Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, which I freaking love Edward Norton. I think it was dope. But we never got any other Hulk movies, and apparently that's a deal between Marvel and Universal, because technically Universal still owns majority of the rights for Hulk.
Do they own She-Hulk as well? Or?
I don't know. Because I don't think so anymore, because Disney's coming out with a She-Hulk show. So I'm assuming Disney owns more of that now.
I don't know. I think it would be great if they do a standalone Hulk movie and then introduce She-Hulk in the process.
That's the way it should have been. But apparently they're going to come out with a whole She-Hulk TV show, who is going to apparently what's the actor who plays him? Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo. There you go. Good job. So apparently he's going to kind of guest star in She-Hulk to bring her as going to be this new Avengers main Hulk.
Oh, I see.
Because he's going to take a back seat as more like Bruce Banner, and then she's going to become their more modern Hulk. So we'll see. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? So okay, after. Like I said, I kind of wish some of these characters got more due earlier on. What do you think of the Avengers movies? Like when you first saw the first Avengers movie, how was that to you? Because to me, that was like the tits.
Yeah, it was epic for me as a comic book fan, as moviegoer, action flick junkie. I loved it.
Yeah. What was your favorite scenes?
Oh man, they do a 360 panoramic.
Oh, the turnaround, yeah, where you see them all back to back.
Yeah, and then when they start fighting and using their combinations of superpowers,
right? Yeah, well, wasn't there one where like Superman, Captain America holds up his shield,
and Iron Man blasts him,
and he reflects it. I was like, yeah, combo attacks. That's what I'm saying.
So that like kind of reminds me of like the video games. I don't know if people played Marvel Alliance.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. And I think, did you like when? What was it? Is it Endgame? When they kind of went back to that first Avengers movie?
What do you mean?
When they time travel and they go back to the Battle for New York, and you're kind of like re-seeing the whole thing basically from another perspective. Yeah. And Hulk sees himself smashing shit, and he's like, "Oh God, this is so degrading," or whatever he says.
He starts smashing things too.
He's like, "Ugh." Yeah. What did you think of the Avengers movie? Let's ask this: what's your favorite Avenger movie?
Do I have to be
Age of Ultron?
No.
That has to be your favorite.
No, it has to be the end one, the end game.
Endgame? Yeah? More than Infinity War?
Yeah.
Really? That's so rare. Most people tend to like Infinity War more. Because I think Endgame had such a slow start.
Oh yeah, because all emotional.
Yeah, and it's depressing.
It's the action at the end that I like.
Yeah.
Like, they just bring everyone.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of that whole last battle?
Oh man.
You remember? Was it the part where all the females unite?
No.
That cheesy scene.
That's pretty hard. I like when just Captain America picks up Thor's hammer. That's just so epic, man.
And Thor's like, yeah,
I knew it.
Yeah. I'd have to say that was probably the most shocking. I kind of like the fact the part where Captain America. First of all, he's just him, Thor, and Iron Man are just pretty much getting wrecked by Thanos.
And he's pretty freaking strong without the Infinity Stone.
He seemed a lot more brutal, right?
Yeah.
He had that double blade weapon and stuff. He was wrecking. But then Iron Man and Thor, Fat Thor, by the way, are kind of like down for the count. And Captain America's like the only one standing. He just kind of stands against all of Thanos' fleet. I want a freaking poster of that dude because he's just standing alone with the Mjolnir and the shield. He's like, all right, I'm gonna fight all of you if I have to. But then you hear, was it Falcon? I think Falcon was the first one we heard.
Yeah, he does.
He's all, Cap, is that you, Cap, or something like that? We got your 6 or something like that.
He says, on on your left. Because they did like it goes back to Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He's running around the was like the pool or something, and
Yeah.
Captain America keeps running past him.
That's right.
He
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
on your left.
And then the first person we see is wasn't Falcon. I think it was
Yeah, it was.
no.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
No.
Black Panther's the first one we see. You see the circle open up, and it's Black Panther. We see him come out, but then after that we see Falcon fly over him.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I
like
could have sworn it was Falcon.
yeah, Falcon's the first one we hear, but then he's the second one we see. Will we ever see Thanos again?
I mean, I want to say
That's non-flashback.
I don't think so.
You think he's like done?
Maybe. I don't know. Disney's weird.
Do you think? Okay, so so we have new movies coming up. Who do you think is the new big bad? Do you think it could be Galactus? Do you think it could be what's the time traveler dude's name?
Oh, Kang the Conqueror.
Kang the Conqueror,
I think
yeah.
he would be perfect.
Yeah.
As the next big bad. Because
he does dimensions and time travel and all that
yeah,
stuff, right?
and Avengers did. They fucked up with the time travel shit.
Yeah. So do you think he? Okay, let's say after we get done with this new 20 movies or whatever it is, who do you think should be the ultimate bad guy they fight in the very end of Marvel movies?
Annihilus or Galactus?
Annihilus, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's like kind of like a. I mean,
I don't see him as a big villain, to be honest with you.
But he has.
He's like a B-list villain. I think so.
He's done like Thanos-ish stuff.
Yeah. So you think he really?
I mean, Galactus can be good too if they bring Fantastic Four.
Well, okay, hold on. Do you think? Okay, so eventually we're going to see the X-Men
and
and Fantastic Four. Do you think they could probably make Apocalypse a big villain?
No.
Really? He's too small?
Yeah.
Really?
If they
even though he's technically supposed to be the god of all mutants or basically whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, if they team him up with other big bads,
that's a good question then. Do you think they could do a whole anti-Avengers of villains? Do you think that would be the ultimate?
That would be great.
Ultimate bad guys we fight at the very freaking end, and they bring back time travel, bring back a young Captain America and stuff like that, or whatever.
I mean, in the comics they had a secret.
They had what was it, the Dark Avengers?
Right, but that was with Norman Osborn.
Yeah, but something like that. You know what I mean?
No,
Compile a whole anti-Avengers team kind of thing.
They do. They have something beyond that with Apocalypse and other big bads with them. I forgot who they were, because they were like a mirror to the big good, the big brains of the leaders of the X-Men would be Xavier. It had Namor in there.
Oh, okay, so all of their evil counterparts basically. Yeah. Was the Red Hulk in there?
No.
Is that pre-Red Hulk? Because I love the Red Hulk.
Red Hulk came out with X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah.
Which I wish, I'm hoping they do that. But it's probably not going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, they kind of could. They did Civil War. Yeah. That was putting the good guys versus the good guys.
I think it's going to go to a tangent, though, if they do that.
Yeah. Okay, so fantasy draft. Who would your 5 villains be that you would put against a new Avengers team later on?
That's not dead?
Whatever. I mean, dude, let's be honest, anything's possible. Dead or not, you can technically go time travel and parallel universes. And they were kind of hinted at a multiverse. So we don't know if that's fully true. So they could probably find a multiverse Thanos and shit like that. You know what I mean?
That's only been in the movies?
No, whatever.
Oh, in comics?
Yeah, it could be whatever. Because there's a lot of characters we haven't seen yet that come out in the movies. I'm talking 5 phases down the line. Ultimate team that the good guys got to face. What 5 villains would you put in there?
Apocalypse has to be one.
Okay.
Thanos has to be another one.
Okay.
I think they'll both clash because they're egos. Magneto will be in there.
You think he'd be on that level? Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he'll be I'm thinking he'll
Do you think I was thinking. Do you think he'd be I kind of feel like Magneto would be good starting off as a hero. And become a traitor.
And then come back to zero.
Yeah, something like that, dude. You know what I mean? Do you think that'd be cool?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, who else? What do you think?
There would have to be some women in there, but Lilith would be
Lilith,
crazy in there.
yeah. Do you think someone like Venom could do it?
Nah.
Bring in this whole symbiote races and stuff?
They would have to bring his god version of him. God, what is his name?
I don't like that character. I'm not into it. I get it, but I'm not really into the new mythos of the Venom symbiotes. It's kind of weird. It's a little too mythical for me, dude. I don't know. It doesn't fit right. Galactus, you said?
No, not Galactus.
No?
He's just too overpowered. I mean,
isn't that kind of what you want? Or do you think like maybe these guys could be like Galactus's minions, and like he's the one that runs everything, and like all these Apocalypse and all these other guys try to appease Galactus, kind of thing?
Like he controls them?
Yeah. What about? I don't think he's a villain. What about Infinity? Is he a villain?
No, he's not a villain. He's just a god.
He's just like an overseer, huh?
Yeah, he just doesn't care about stuff like that.
Okay, so then since
it would have to be Beyonder, because he's like a child with so much power.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love to see a Secret Wars with the Beyonder.
I would love to see an MCU black suit Spider-Man. Because it's never been done right. That last black suit was a travesty.
And that'd be a perfect way to introduce him too.
Yeah. Okay, so we have... quick, before we jump into this, overall, how do you like where the MCU has gone since the first Iron Man? 2 Endgame, do you love it? Do you think a majority of the films have been good? Which films have you thought were crap?
I love the storyline where they took him. It's bittersweet where he died.
Who died?
Fucking Iron Man.
Oh, he did? Spoiler, bro. Spoiler alert.
So what? People, if you haven't seen it...
you shouldn't even be listening to this.
Right.
No, what else?
I think we all agree Iron Man 3 is like...
terrible?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. It's the Spider-Man 3 of the MCU.
Why is it always the third one? It's always shitty.
I don't know, dude. Blade 3 was crap. X-Men 3 was crap.
But overall, I think I like the way they took him. I know they would have to recast Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr. is just getting
dude. I mean, but think about it. Like, think of how. Have you heard of that de-aging technology they're doing?
No.
Yeah,
like advanced.
Remember Civil War when they made Robert Downey Jr. look younger?
Oh,
they could still do that, dude.
Like CGI's face.
Yes.
Yeah, they could.
You know what I mean? And that looked pretty good. You know what I mean? It didn't look terrible. It's not perfect. Perfected by right
yeah,
now.
they could do that. I mean,
you know, in 20 years they could still make a freaking 30-year-old Captain Iron Man. What? Iron Man, Iron Cap. Dude, I'll do Iron Cap. That'd be dope. Say, what was your? Would you say your worst one?
Iron Man 3.
That's your worst one?
Yeah.
Man, really? I'm gonna have to say Captain Marvel.
Oh, as in general.
Yes, out of all the MCU.
Oh yeah.
No, out of all the MCU.
I think Captain Marvel was just forced in there.
Yeah.
Not to bag on female.
Yeah, no. I completely agree with it. And the thing is, I want nobody. A lot of people have been talking about we want a Black Widow movie because we like the Black Widow character. We want her to have her movie, and she's finally getting it. Obviously, it's not about women or like that. It's about we just want good movies.
Right.
And in my opinion, even though that movie made whatever millions and millions of dollars, it was still a bad movie. And the only reason, in my opinion, it made so much money is because it was the first or last movie before Endgame. Because it was the build-up movie to Endgame.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It was
it capitalized on.
They forced it in there.
Yeah, it was like let's just sneak this in now, and
which you don't even have to see it to watch.
Miss anything? Yeah,
you don't have to see it.
She was in Endgame for a total. I think someone said she was in an Endgame for a total of like 8 minutes.
Yeah, she goes and she wrecks house, and then she gets owned by Thanos, and then that's it.
That was it. I was like, aw. But I mean, she's supposed to take a bigger role in the newer phases. I hope she gets better. I'm not against her being a character in the movies or anything. I want her to get better. I just didn't like her movie, and I
don't like the fact that they made her overpowered.
Yes,
in the comic books, come on, man. I mean, she barely holds her own as her tier.
Yeah. But I think that's what they're going to be leading to. Because obviously Thanos was the big bad of this phase. So I mean, the villains are only going to get tougher and tougher. I mean, so now these new villains are gonna be way stronger, and they're gonna make her look weak. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm asking. Like, if she's that powerful, we have to find someone who's gonna oppose her. You know what I mean? And so who as a villain could be that strong enough to go against her? So it would. I could even
besides Galactus, I don't even know.
Yeah. So they would, and that's where kind of like characters like King the Conqueror might be a good choice.
I think King the Conqueror would be like an Ultron, like in the mid.
Yeah, a mid tier before the final boss. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now with the future, we have movies like the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings I told you about. We have things like the Black Widow movie, which is going to be a prequel. How do you feel about a prequel? Like, do you think we need it right now? Do you think it makes sense? I mean, if it's good, it really doesn't matter. But like, are you cool with it?
To be honest,
like I said, it's gonna be Taskmaster. I'm dope to see a live action Taskmaster.
I'd love to see Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I just don't care, to be honest with you.
Okay, so from what I heard, so since she's dead in the new, the current movies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about
Spoiler alert, my bad. I'm sorry. I need to throw that out there more. So she's totally dead. Apparently, what this is supposed to be, because technically, no one's ever called her Black Widow in the movies.
No, they called her
by her actual name.
Okay.
So this is, I guess, this is going to be a society of like assassins, which are the Black Widows, and this is where she's going to get her title. But what's going to happen, from what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is true, don't quote me, they're going to introduce maybe someone she worked with or trained with, and she's going to be the Black Widow of the future for the next MCU, and she's going to be the official Black Widow. So that's why this movie is called Black Widow, because they're introducing an official Black Widow.
In the comic books, there was 2 Black Widows, actually.
Yeah.
There was her.
Yeah.
When she retired, she semi-retired, and someone in her, assassin guild or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So she was a blonde one, and she took up the mantle of Black Widow, and then she got disfigured, and then she wanted to go after the original.
So do you think, are you cool with them doing another Black Widow?
Yeah, I mean,
if it fits,
it's cool.
and like I think most of us care. If it's good, it's good.
I mean, prequels to me are like whatever. It's cool. I mean, just make it good.
Yeah. So we have the Eternals. That's going to be a big movie coming out. What do you think about Eternals? Be honest.
I think just a PC. Like, let's get all the races. And
do you think it's just to appease like everybody?
Yeah.
And again, I don't think that's a bad thing if it turns out good.
I mean,
I think if it's forced and it feels forced, it could be bad. But I think if it's good, I don't think anybody cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, but it does feel like, oh yeah, let's just compile everything we could possibly think of and make it into one team. Yeah. But again, that's kind of like the whole meaning of the X-Men, if you really think about it. You know what I mean?
I'd rather have the X-Men, to be honest with you.
No, dude. I think a majority of us would rather have the X-Men. But that probably won't happen for a while. What about the new Doctor Strange movie? The Multiverse of Madness. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have. Now.
Have you heard about like what it's going to kind of be?
No, I did not.
Okay. So apparently they're saying this is going to be Marvel's first horror movie. Do you think Disney could pull off a horror movie?
I don't know.
A Disney horror? Like,
it would be very PG.
yeah. PG-13 tops.
Look, Disney needs to, stop catering to the kids and start breaking the boundaries of the PG genre.
Yeah.
Because look at Deadpool. It's rated R, and it was freaking good.
Well, even looking at the new Joker movie, that movie's already made over $1 billion, and that's a hard R. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But are you excited for it? Because I know you're a big Doctor Strange guy. Like, are you still excited for it?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the villain?
I do not know.
Do you think Mephisto?
Oh, that could be.
You think it might be him? Because apparently this is going to tie in with the Disney Plus shows. All these new movies are going to tie in with the Disney Plus shows. That's how they're going to be introducing a lot of their new characters. So we got the new show called WandaVision. And apparently WandaVision is going to tie in directly to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So what they're saying is that WandaVision is going to pretty much show where Wanda goes crazy.
Ooh.
And
The House of M.
exactly, that's exactly what I was going to ask you about. So now then that's why this is called the multiverse of madness. What they're thinking is that Wanda is going to create a multiverse herself from her powers and stuff like
You
that.
think that's going to bring the X-Men?
Okay, let me get there. You're jumping ahead of me.
Okay, my bad.
And that's why it's called the multiverse of madness. She goes so mad that she creates this multiverse, which is what I'm talking about, House of M. Now, that is where we can lead into characters like the X-Men coming out, because before, while it was going on, a lot of us think as a comic book, where the hell are the X-Men? Where is the Fantastic Four? If they're in this world, would they just be standing back doing nothing? So that would mean you'd have to bring them in for a multiverse, because obviously in this world, they don't exist. So to introduce them, they'd have to be from a multiverse, right?
Yeah.
Or else otherwise you'd have to start with them as little kids, and you're not going to do that. So do you think that's a smart move for them to do? Do you think this Doctor Strange movie could be the real Kickstarter for where this new phases are going?
It could be that or the Eternals. I'm thinking the X-Men can come from the Eternals as well.
Well, I think Eternals is going to be their tie into like space and bringing in the Nova Corps more and that kind of thing.
I think, you really think so?
I think so, yeah.
I really think the Turtles can kickstart the
Turtles?
The X-Men.
The Turtles?
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles? What are you talking about?
Eternals.
Oh, Eternals. I think you said the Turtles. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm drunk.
Go ahead.
I think the Eternals movies can kickstart the X-Men too.
Yeah? Okay. Bringing like freaking Lilandra and all that stuff. You remember Lilandra? The space chick from Dark Phoenix Saga.
Oh, isn't she a freaking
Space pirate?
She's from space, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Eternals are going to bring in the space element. They've already said that.
Yeah, probably.
They're going to bring a lot of those. They're going to bring in, like I said, the Nova Corps and things like that. So then, again,
This is all assumptions.
yeah, well, it is. It is. It kind of is, and it kind of stuff they've kind of said already. I just don't want this movie to suck, dude. And okay, here's the thing. You're gonna get mad at me. I didn't really like the first Doctor Strange movie all that much. Okay, it was a great movie, but as per normal Marvel stuff, the villains sucked. I did not like Dormammu because he just seemed like a floating cloud head, and he just got through him so quickly.
I think he did better than the Fantastic Four Galactus.
Yeah, which was another floating cloud.
But I think, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about? And
but I think maybe they might bring Dormammu again with multiverse as a bigger, bigger role.
That's what I'm hoping. But at the time, we don't know this in advance, right? We're talking first time we're watching this movie in theaters. We're like, oh my god, he's gonna fight Dormammu. Like we know Dormammu as being one of the dopest villains there is, especially for against Doctor Strange, and we get that. And I was like, oh, they totally mandarined me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, like, not how are they gonna? They already did that to me before. Now they're gonna do it again. You a-holes. Like, how is that the dude who worked for Dormammu more of a threat than Dormammu was in the movie? That's kind of how it felt to me. You know what I mean? And obviously because Doctor Strange was training and not fully the Sorcerer Supreme he was, but still, you're like,
oh, you know what? Who was the guy that like said, you know what? Fuck this. It was the black dude. And he just like left the.
Good guy, bad guy.
He was a good guy, and then he figured out that Doctor Strange's master was using Dormammu's power. And
oh yeah. I don't remember his name.
He was actually a bigger
threat. Yeah, totally.
Because he at the end he started killing off.
Yeah.
People who were using magic.
Yeah. So okay. So since I've kind of given you the idea of what the premise is of Doctor Strange, do you think it could be better than the first one?
It has to be better than the first one.
Okay. So then, do you like the idea of them kind of doing a House of M thing? And I'm going to connect this right now, so give me a second. Do you like the idea of them doing kind of a House of M thing?
Yeah.
Now, you said you saw Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
The very end of it, what happened?
Fucking Mysterio tells everyone that Spider-Man's Peter Parker.
Okay, what happened in House of M with Spider-Man? He revealed he was Peter Parker.
No, people already knew in House of M, and he was like
No. In the
It was in Civil War where he revealed.
okay, but in House of M, they basically wiped all that out. Remember? Yeah, they wiped everybody. They pretty much wiped everything.
Oh, he got a clean slate.
Exactly.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Could this be that? That's how it connects to Spider-Man?
It could be.
Because, okay, now let's get into that. They're obviously coming out with a new Spider-Man, even after that whole debacle. What are your hopes for Spider-Man 3, since you're the big Spider-Man guy? First of all, what villains do you want to see? I say villains, because there's no way in hell it's going to be one guy. Who do you want to see? Could they do a Sinister Six right now?
Yes, they
because they're building to that. They technically have Scorpion. Who do they have right now?
They got Venom, and
they technically could do another Shocker. I don't know if they do
what
Shocker.
would be good? It would be God. What's his name? Craven the Hunter.
Hunter? Yeah, I've heard that he might be one of the main ones in the next one. Who do you want to see then?
I actually want to see Craven the Hunter.
Do you think he'd be the main one you'd want to see?
Yeah.
So then, say okay. So they have Sony's or Fox. Sony is doing the new Venom movie with Carnage. The director and the companies have already said that after that, you're going to start seeing Tom Holland Spider-Man in those more movies too. Do you think we can see
Maximum Carnage?
I wish, dude.
That would be fucking awesome.
I wish.
Venom
Okay.
and Spider-Man team up to.
So do you think, I don't know if it'll work, but do you think they could bring in those villains into the MCU?
Yeah.
Would you like to see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you like Venom?
I do like Venom.
The movie.
Oh,
the
the
movie.
I think the movie was okay.
Decent, right? It was decent.
Yeah.
So, because the way they're kind of making it seem, it looks like he's an anti-hero in this world. Yeah. Do you think it would be better for them to play him as more of a straight up villain in future movies for Spider-Man?
Yes, and then make him more of an anti-hero at the end. You know what I mean? Because he has his, in a comic book line, he has an anti-hero comic book. It's just, they're all one shots.
So do you think it'd be a cool story maybe to like have the symbiote just kind of like drive him crazy where he becomes a villain temporarily and then he kind of overcomes the symbiote to become an anti-hero again?
No, just where he just makes a deal with the symbiote, like, hey, we'll do this. We'll do good things, but we'll do it in a fair way where you're satisfied.
Right. Okay. So then, because I don't think the Sinister Six is going to happen next Spider-Man movie.
No. If anything, it'll probably be Venom versus Spider-Man for the next movie. I would love to see that.
That will probably be...
Because Venom took Spider-Man to the point where Spider-Man was just going crazy.
Yeah.
He had to protect Mary Jane. And Venom knew his secret identity.
Yeah.
He was going after Aunt May.
So do you think like in the future, after all he takes down all these villains, say what to the very end, right? Do you think the last movie for Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, should be the Sinister Six? Or should it be like Green Goblin? He's the main villain.
Nah.
What do you think it should be?
Whoa, wow. That's a good one.
Because Green Goblin is like his Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's his ultimate bad guy.
Unless Green Goblin... Was Green Goblin part of the Sinister Six?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I mean, Disney can always...
Could be. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter at this point, right?
Yeah, Disney can always add him as a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
And imagine Green Goblin makes a Sinister Six.
I would lose my mind.
Go after Spider-Man.
I would lose my mind, yeah. Yeah, so do you think Sinister Six then would be the best? Like that's like the end for the Spider-Man saga.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Bring in all his top villains, and this is what he.
They would have to leave that to like the Avengers. You know how they did the Avengers thing.
Now, do you think? Throwing this out there, do you think that he would do it on his own? Do you think they would incorporate maybe like a Miles Morales or a Spider-Gwen? Because I don't know if you've heard this, they're making a Madam Web movie.
Ooh, that would be like Spider-Verse.
Exactly. So what they're saying is because of things like Madam Web, the new Spider-Verse movie, that they might even side create a live action Spider-Verse outside of the cartoons is a different word. Like they might have Miles Morales be the one who leads the cartoons, and then Peter Parker lead the live action movies.
There's just so many possibilities. I mean.
Well, it's not about possibilities. Like, what do you want to see? As a fan, what do you want to see?
I want to see Black Cat.
I want to see everything.
Oh, yeah, I do. But maybe Black Cat thrown in there to help Spider-Man with the
that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
And you could introduce Black Cat. You know?
Yeah. Well, they were supposed to do that Black Cat and Silver Sable movie that felt it was called Black and Silver, and they canceled it. So they're like, you know what? Nah. Well, you know they're doing a Morbius.
Yeah.
That's like the next one. I think they're currently filming that one. That's
Who's playing Morbius?
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but that's the next villain movie. I don't know why they're going in that route of doing all the villains.
Well, I mean, I think they're just banking on these B-listers and trying to see what
happens.
Yeah.
But again, it worked for Joker, so they could do it with these other movies too. These other characters too.
I just want to see Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Give me Moon Knight.
Okay.
I'll be so fucking happy.
Okay, speaking of Moon Knight, that's another one that's going to be on Disney Plus. Now they've already said that all these characters they're doing TV shows for are going to be tied into the movies. How do you think Moon Knight fits in with the Avengers and this whole world? Does he? Because I've never seen him as a team player.
He was,
you know what I mean? I've never
kinda-ish in the comic books. He has like a little role when he teams up with the like Secret Avengers. I think.
Yeah.
Or like a.
But I'm talking, but where the MCU is going with the more like space and stuff like that, and these bigger bads. Like, does he even have a place?
I mean, it just
does he fit in?
It's just up to the Disney writers to see where they can throw him, or they're just gonna throw him, or just gonna stick him with the TV series.
Yeah. Is Moon Knight just Marvel's Batman? Is he?
Yeah.
Just crazier.
Just crazier.
That tends to be a lot of like Hyperion. He's their Superman, just crazier.
Well, there's a Hyperion that's actually good.
That's nice. The one I'm thinking of is insane.
Insane one?
Yeah. Okay, so but how dope is it that we're getting to Moon Knight? I mean, anything. Like, we don't get Moon Knight nothing. Yeah. We barely get Moon Knight action figures, let alone a cartoon, let alone a movie.
I just hope they do
good. Yeah.
Where he's fucking battling his psychosis.
Okay, that's another thing. This is gonna be on Disney Plus. Can they make a PG-13?
Oh no, man.
Moon Knight properly? Should it be rated R like Deadpool?
It has to be PG-13 at least.
Yeah. With like very minor cursing, like one ass word per season.
Is so brutal.
Yeah,
like he takes off the faces of his enemies.
Yeah, yeah.
Who I do want is Daredevil from the Netflix series to come
into the MCU.
To Disney Plus at least.
Okay, do you? Apparently, when those ended, the whole license they had 3 years until they could use those characters again. Yeah. You realize that's only like a year and a half away.
Wow. Since
they lost license. It flew by quick. So they could easily bring those characters back in like another year and a half. And
that would make more sense to me.
Okay, do you think, because since now Disney owns Hulu now, don't you think, this is what I think, don't you think they should just make a whole Hulu series of Marvel characters and have them be like the R-rated characters?
Can they do R-rated stuff on
Hulu? No, on Hulu.
On Hulu?
Yeah.
They own Hulu?
Yeah, they own Hulu.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't you think that would be better?
Yeah.
Because Disney Plus is like going to be their more kid friendly, family friendly stuff. Now they own Hulu. I think they should just create like the Marvel Knights and stuff like that, or that's where they could go back and do the Defenders and things like that.
Yeah, but speaking as money wise, I think they want as much subscribers to Disney Plus, so they'll throw whatever.
Well, think about it. Well, like this, because I have Disney Plus. I bought the Disney Plus Hulu package, where it's only like $12. You get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. So either way, that all of that money is going to Disney because they own it. It really doesn't matter. But the problem I'm having is why take a character like Moon Knight and PG him as much as possible. You know what I mean?
I don't get it, man.
I don't understand that. Like, he's a totally rated R character, and then say when they do get Daredevil back, you throw him on Disney Plus, and then what? They're not going to have him as bloody and crazy as Punisher.
Right.
You know what I mean? How are they going to do Punisher on Disney Plus?
Are they going to have Punisher?
They're bringing all those. They want to bring all those characters back. They've already said they want all of them to come back. It's just they don't know how to bring them back yet. My thing says, say make them on Hulu. Okay, let's talk about this. Where does Deadpool fit in? They've already said Deadpool's going to be part of the MCU, and they've said Deadpool's going to be rated R. The next part 3.
He has to have.
Yeah, he has to be. He can't go back.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be a movie, obviously.
Yeah.
He's not going to be in Disney.
Okay, so now they've already talked about how they want to. Okay, now they're saying, should Deadpool be the guy who introduces the X-Men and mutants?
Oh, wow.
Because dude, whether people want to realize it or not, accept it or not, I'm cool with it. Deadpool's the most popular mutant right now. Whether anybody wants to agree with it. He is. There's no other mutant more popular. You could argue Wolverine, But it's Deadpool right now, dude. Trust me, the merch sales do not lie. And the movies do not lie. I love Logan. That was a great movie, but those other Wolverine movies blew hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you think he would be a good person to bring in? Okay, but the thing is, if you're going to bring him into the MCU, you have to nerf him a ton.
I think he's going to come in with the X-Men in the way they're going to introduce the X-Men. Whether it be
With the multiverse?
Doctor Strange
Yeah.
or Eternals or whatever the fuck they're going to do.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to play out? Deadpool in the MCU? Because, okay, they were like, because I heard some people saying, like, have his movies straight up rated R, keep them that way. Because apparently they're going to do a Deadpool 3, and then after that they want to do X-Force. Ooh. So part 4 will technically be X-Force.
With Cable?
Yeah, all the actual X-Force team. Yeah. They're saying, so how is he going to be in like an Avengers movie? They're saying kind of make it as a joke. You know, he's like known for breaking the fourth wall and talking to the camera and shit like that, right?
I don't think he should be with the Avengers, if anything. I think he's
I don't think he'll be a team member, but maybe have him pop in. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and he could be running on a scene and be like, dude, I'm in a Disney movie. What the beep is that? Like, what the beep am I doing here kind of thing? Like,
that'd be funny. Yeah.
Just for a quick gag or something like that. You know what I mean? There's a petition that's gone around. I don't know if you've seen it. Since Stan Lee is no longer with us, to have Deadpool be the cameo in all the future Marvel movies.
Oh, man.
Would that work?
Why not CGI Stan Lee into it?
Oh, I can't do that, dude.
Why not?
That hurts. No, I don't want to see CGI Stan Lee and saying, remember me, kids? Like, nah, dude.
He's not gonna say that.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? That's kind of how it feels. Don't you think it'd be perfect for Deadpool just to like pop in on a bus and they're like, what the hell? Deadpool on the bus, riding the bus? He's like,
I think the whole Stan Lee thing should just die with Stan Lee.
Yeah. So no more cameos, period.
Yeah, no more cameos.
That can make sense. So then after that, we're going to get Thor, Love and Thunder. You know more about Thor than I do. I've only read a total of maybe 10 Thor books total.
Shit, man.
What do you think about the story? You know the story more than I do. This is where we get what's her name? The girl. What's her name? His girlfriend. What's her name?
You know what? I'm too drunk to realize what it is.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Jane Foster.
Yeah, she becomes fucking Thor.
Yeah, she becomes Thor. So what happens with Thor?
Thor becomes just whatever he
dude?
became before.
A drifter? What does he do?
He's just some god.
A drunk?
God.
Okay, hold on. Let me wait real quick. Should we get Fat Thor in this movie too?
No, I think Fat Thor just ends. With
just right there. Yeah. Okay,
I don't want to see Fat Thor again, which is cool. I like Fat Thor.
Yeah, it was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
and leave it at that. Okay. So yeah, well, how does the story play out? I don't know much about it, dude. So she's gonna become the new Thor.
Yeah. Well,
is his name still Thor?
Yeah, his name's still Thor.
Thor Odinson.
Yeah.
And she's Thor Foster.
She's just Thor. I mean,
I don't know how that works, dude. No clue how that works. So they're both Thor.
To be honest with you,
so Thor's gonna bang Thor.
I don't think they even banged.
What? Really?
Yeah. She has cancer. I think Marvel just fucking threw her in there. I don't think they should have made Jane Foster Thor
a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, in the comics, you mean? Oh, okay. So are you excited for this movie at all?
Not really.
No? Yeah?
Sadly, no.
What? Okay, so then what do you want this to be the farewell for Thor?
No, I want Thor to keep going, but I don't want what I don't want is someone to replace him.
Actor, you mean?
As in, whatever.
As a character? Okay, so you don't want another Thor.
I don't want him to take the backseat. You know what I mean?
Could someone like Beta Ray Bill come in and fill that position as like a god kind of thing?
Beta Ray Bill's cool, yeah, but he still doesn't have the.
Or what was his name was Warlock.
Oh,
that kid Thor from the Young Avengers. I think his name was Warlock, but he was like their Thor.
No,
I don't know much about the character, but I'm just
remember that.
Okay.
I know Warlock is like a separate guy.
No, I know what you're talking about. I know that's a different one, but I'm almost positive his name was Warlock too. But he was their kid version of Thor, basically. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
No, the only thing I remember about Kid Thor is Thor having a daughter, and then she takes the mantle of Thor.
Really?
Yeah, because they have like a kid Avengers in some
Oh, that's right.
Some animated
That's
movie.
right.
And they fight, you know,
And
they're being led by the Vision and Iron Man, and
that's right.
they fight fucking Ultron.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Black Panther 2 coming out. Ant-Man 3.
Ooh.
Blade. Let's talk about Blade. Okay.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I want Wesley Snipes coming back.
Dude, right?
That's all I want.
Yeah. Can we have an MCU Blade
Yeah, we can.
in the Disney world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think so?
Look, whatever they do with the rated R stuff, I hope they just fucking do it good.
Okay, well, I'm telling you right now, Blade isn't going to be rated R. They've already said it.
What is it, PG-13?
PG-13, yeah.
What was the other ones, PG-13?
What other ones?
Like
Thor?
The Wesley Snipes version?
Those are R, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we watched all that stuff as kids. Dude, I watched Aliens when I was like 7. I was like, oh my God, this movie's dope. And it's a total rated R movie.
I watched Predator, and that was
I had
cool.
Aliens toys. And I was like, what, they're selling rated R movie toys to 6-year-olds and stuff? Yeah, different times.
Okay, I guess it all comes down to the
story?
It's story, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he's another one? See, this is what I'm talking about with Moon Knight. Does he fit in this world?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They just gotta make him good. They gotta see what they do with the rated R shit.
Okay, hold on. Do you think they could tie him to Morbius? And so they're making a Morbius movie?
Yeah, why not?
Do you think they would cross that over?
I mean, they could tie him into fucking Doctor Strange. I mean,
yeah. I guess it comes down to like how it's written, huh? How it's all written. What do you think of the actor they chose?
Oh man, I don't know.
He was on he's technically in the MCU already.
Yeah, I seen him in a couple.
He was in the Luke Cage show.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
Was his name Cottonmouth? Was it Cottonmouth?
No,
or was it?
It was someone else.
But you know, yeah, he was in that show too. So he's
He
technically
played a good fucking villain.
mobster. Yeah. So you don't think he could be Blade though? I agree with you. I still want Wesley Snipes back, dude. And Wesley Snipes does not look bad for his age at all.
So I mean, are they gonna bring back Luke Cage too?
That's what they want. They want all the Netflix characters back.
Because that's gonna be weird having like
if they cross paths with
yeah, the villain.
they're like, hey man,
weren't you
in Harlem? Yeah, we're talking about. Oh yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm super stoked that they're even doing Blade. Like I'm super stoked that they're even doing Moon Knight. I'm just like really curious as to how they're gonna do it. And I really don't want them to screw this up. But at the same time, like Marvel has kind of like proven us they're like, dude, they can take these characters and still make them pretty awesome and entertaining, right? Yeah. But it kind of seems like characters like this Blade Moon Knight, it's a little harder to do because they're not as, Disney as these other characters could be. Like Captain America, could totally be a Disney character.
I don't think they even have anyone like Blade or Moon Knight.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying. So
I don't want to see him toned down.
Yeah. What else was I thinking too? Oh, Ghost Rider. There's word they want to do a Ghost Rider.
Isn't he Universal?
They want to do. I don't think so anymore. I'm not sure. But they because he was on Agents of Shield.
Oh shit, that's right.
So they want to bring that Ghost Rider back as their MCU Ghost Rider, the one who drives a car.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but I heard he's Hispanic, which would be dope because we need a Hispanic character in the MCU as far as I'm concerned, damn it. How do you do that in that real character, but say a standalone in the MCU?
Well, I mean, if
with Doctor Strange, demons and
if Doctor Strange can pull whatever they want to pull off with the horror shit,
yeah,
and I think you could do a Ghost Rider.
So then that's what I'm saying. So do you think? I think Doctor Strange, this new Doctor Strange movie, is going to be changing the tones of future movies to the point where we can see, because again, this is supposed to be their first horror movie, horror-esque. So this can change a lot for future films, right? Like Blade and Moon Knight and things like that. So is that the way? Do you think that's the way to go for future movies? To change the tone overall?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the way to survive? And it's not just stay the course that they've always done? Yeah. Change it up, you know what I mean? And do something different? Are you excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Yeah, I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Do you think we'll get the Asgardians of the Galaxy?
I don't think so.
No? Really?
I think we'll get Nova, though, hopefully.
I think we're going to get Fat Thor in the Guardians 3.
Oh.
And then he'll eventually get back to Thin Thor by the time we get to Thor 3. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen.
Or you know what? They can have Annihilus against the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that makes way more sense. Yeah, I dig that. So, okay, we have Miss Marvel coming out. She's one of the newer characters in comic books. She's the little girl.
Oh, the one that stretches?
Yeah. Camilla Khan, yeah. She's actually going to be like the main character in the new Avengers video game. Have you seen that? She's going to be the one that kind of helps reunite the Avengers and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen the gameplays.
I haven't seen
Okay, well, that's a different topic. We're getting She-Hulk. Okay, what other characters that they haven't announced would you want to see get either their own show or movie? Okay, so who do you got?
Jesus. That's a hard one.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There's literally like thousands of characters and
Namor would be pretty good.
Namor, yeah. I'm honestly surprised. Well, I think is he technically considered a mutant? Is that what it is?
Yes, he's a mutant.
So he's part of the X-Men deal?
He's the first mutant, I think.
Yeah, so he's part of the X-Men deal, huh?
Yeah.
So then...
I mean, he doesn't want to be, but...
What do you mean?
Like, he wants to associate as, he's the king of the sea, and he doesn't want to associate with, the X-Men.
Oh, okay.
But he is a mutant.
Right. Like I said, I want to see Doctor Doom. I want to see him have his own story arc. Because, like, they're doing Black Adam movie for Shazam. I think that would be in the same lines as doing, like, a Doctor Doom movie for Fantastic Four. Because I know Doctor Doom has such a cool story and a cool character, I think I want to see something just for him. Even if it's like a mini-series on Disney Plus. Do 6 episodes, that's it. And then we hop into Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? What about characters like from Spider-Man that you haven't seen yet? Like, I think Norman Osborn would be a really cool character.
He would be good. Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Chameleon. I don't think Chameleon would be good, but he would probably be best if he's teamed up with someone.
Yeah. I don't know if this is possible. Would a Sinister Six movie of just like the villains be a thing?
Yeah.
Is it possible to do a story on just them?
Oh, just them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, is that possible? Is that that's too much?
They could, but I don't think. Why would they do that? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, man. I don't know them that much. So obviously they haven't confirmed if we're doing X-Men yet. They're going to because they own it now because they bought it for a reason. And Fantastic Four. Who do you think should come first between those two?
Between who?
The X-Men and Fantastic Four.
I think the Fantastic Four should come out first.
Okay, now if we do that, should they fight Doctor Doom right away?
Yes.
Really? He should be their first villain?
Yeah.
Who would be their ultimate villain? Galactus?
Galactus. Yeah.
Really? Well, that makes sense. Have them team up with a new Avengers team?
I think, yeah, that would be good.
Okay. And then where do you see the X-Men fitting in all this?
Oh, man. That's so weird. I don't know.
Do you think we'll get, what's his name? Wolverine, the actor.
No.
Do you think we'll get him back at some point?
Pictures of...
Think of one of the multiverse. Do you think we get him back for one movie?
I think they'll do an Old Man Logan thing. It'd be pretty good.
Probably.
I saw a picture with Harry Potter being Logan. I think that's so stupid.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, if you look it up.
Oh, the actor kid.
Yeah.
No. I haven't seen pictures, but I heard about it. I was like...
There's pictures of him CGI'd as fucking Wolverine.
No, I don't think... Because he's short? I don't get why. What is it? No. That does not fit in the list. I don't get it. Okay, so then... Are you excited for the new phase?
To be honest with you, only...
Or do you feel like they've climaxed and that's it? And they can't go any further than this?
Yeah, I think they hit the top. And everything else, like bits and pieces of like Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, that's cool. But everything else, I think, is just...
So do you think this is kind of like one of those like once in a lifetime things? And like, dude, we'll never capture that again. Like, it's
gonna fizzle out.
Eventually, huh?
The hype is gonna be gone.
And eventually we can only tackle so many characters without having to redo and remake new Iron Man movies and remake and recast new Captain America movies and stuff like that. So do you think after this point it's going to be pretty much DC's time to shine?
Probably, yeah.
You think so?
They're rebooting their...
They're doing their movies properly a little more now. You know what I mean? So do you think it's Do you think it's Marvel's how do I say this? It's Marvel's game to pretty much lose at this point now, since they've already been at the top for so long. It's pretty much it's kind of, it could possibly be downhill and uphill for DC.
Maybe it just depends how Disney, handles their property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So which out of all the movies and the shows that are coming out that have already been announced, which ones are you the most excited for?
Oh, Moon Knight for sure.
Yeah? Even more than like the Spider-Man 3 and the Thor and all that?
We don't have any Moon Knight.
Yeah, we don't get Moon Knight nothing, man. It's crazy. So that's probably like your biggest character right now. You're like, dude, I can't believe they're doing a Moon Knight. That's crazy. I'm actually have to agree with you. I was like, there's no...
And I'm hoping for new action figures once the Moon Knight...
Yeah. So, yeah, I think so. I think I agree with you. I think Moon Knight's probably like... Because the average person doesn't know who Moon Knight is. Who knows who the hell Moon Knight is besides us people who've been reading Moon Knight books for years and stuff like that? Nobody knows who the hell it is. So, and and I don't even know who's directing, writing. I don't know any of these people who are doing it. And chances are they're just going to get the same people who have written and directed all these other movies. They're going to keep it in the family and bring in maybe a few new heads here and there.
I think they're aware of that. Like, people don't know who he is, so they're just going to do something fresh with him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of probably going to rub the wrong way with the hardcore fans. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so then the whole Marvel universe, where does it rank for you in, like, your all-time favorite cinematic adventures?
Oh, man, I don't know. What do you mean?
Like some of the best movies considered are like the Rocky series franchise, the Star Wars franchise, Rambo, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The Fast and the Furious franchises.
It would have to be like the top third, like the third one, the second one. Rocky's up there.
Fast and the Furious? I know you're a big Fast guy.
No, Fast and Furious.
It got a little too weird?
It got oh, God.
Yeah.
It should have ended like in Brazil, and that's it.
God, yeah. So what do you think,
Yeah.
Top two?
Top two, yeah.
Top two? Who would be your top one then?
Rocky, man.
Yeah? I can see that. Especially with Creed. Yeah, dude. That's all part of that family. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Marvel totally changed the game. The way kind of like 1989 Batman did for comic book movies in general. I think the MCU kind of changed the game entirely for the better. Have you heard about like the backlash towards like superhero movies?
No, what is that?
From all these like famous directors, pretty much crapping. I want even the other, like a lot of actresses are saying that like it's only superhero movies that people are going to go see now and things like that. Yeah,
I think it's superhero movies now. It's like its own thing, like
its own genre.
Yeah, so people are jumping on the bandwagon, and I guess they're just getting sick of the superhero thing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's how I see it. Okay, think of it this way: when we were growing up, how many movies and stuff like that in general did we get based on our superheroes that we always liked? We got practically nothing. So for me, I'm like, people that are complaining, I'm like, dude, I grew up in an age where there were no tons of superhero team up movies and all this stuff.
It would probably be like Batman, Superman.
That's it? Yeah, that was it. You know what I mean? And the last Superman movies came out in the early 80s. You know, we got some decent movies in Batman with the 80s and 90s. Probably the best ones were, a lot of people consider the Dark Knight trilogy, in the early 2000s. But after that, that was it. We didn't really get... I mean, the X-Men movies were okay, tops. The Blade movies were okay, tops. But it wasn't until the newer ones, like, everything was, like, way... and a completely different thing, you know what I mean? And 10, 11 years, how it's been now since the first Iron Man, isn't a long time... theatrically out of the hundreds of years we've had movies, you know what I mean? So I feel like after all these years of always wanting, as a kid, always wanting superhero comic book movies, we're finally getting them. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that people are like complaining, oh, there's too many. Like, dude, I've been waiting 30 years for this. I need at least another 30 years more of, all these characters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I really don't understand the backlash, to be honest with you. So I think that about wraps it up. I think we both can concede that the Marvel movies were really dope. It's a little scary to see where they're going because we don't know what the future holds, especially with the different types of characters that are coming in that are a lot different than the average characters that we see. So we'll see what happens. I really don't know with characters like, where's Deadpool going to fit in? Where's Moon Knight going to fit in? Where's Blade going to fit in? I'm a little nervous because those aren't, PC, PG type characters. I really don't know how it's going to work out, so I'm a little nervous about that. All right, so that about wraps up this discussion on what our thoughts were on the previous MCU and the future MCU. Any final words to what you might feel or thinking going into the future?
I just hope that Disney does the rated R material justice.
Do you think they'll be able to have both the rated R world and the PG-13 world and kind of maybe fuse them together? Do you think they could do it? I think they could do it.
Yeah, I think they could do it.
Yeah, so I think that's ultimately. I just don't want them nerfing any of our hardcore characters. You know what I mean? Technically, even Wolverine, dude, he's a pretty hardcore character. You know what I mean? But I think he's one of those ones that can kind of ride the line a little bit. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So that about wraps it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So for myself, BatBomb82, go ahead and find me on Facebook and Instagram, and of course my YouTube here at BatBomb82. And that does it for my friend here, Ruthless Wolf. Where can they find you, Ruthless? What's your social media?
They don't find me. I find you. And I really don't want to talk to anyone.
You can mail in letters to what's your address? What's your P.O. box? I'll have them write you letters instead of email and stuff. All right, guys, that does it for me. So yeah, we'll talk to you next time on the next episode of Tales from the Dorkside. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.